So we have the Eight of Wands front and center. I'm going to pull from all 9 of my decks. If you want to speed it up, you can at this time. Ace of Swords. A new idea coming in very fast between two people. A swift communicative action regarding some kind of truth with Temperance. Something that you've been waiting for a long time, something that you feel like almost would never happen, right? You kind of gave up on something, someone, didn't think anything was going to happen, but something new is being brought to the surface. Something that's going to be healing, balancing, something that's going to balance out the playing field. The waters are going to become still. There's recognition of something here. There's success regarding the two of you. You see how these two people are looking at each other psychically, and they understand one another psychically. They're not using their mouths. They're using their third eye to communicate the truth with one another. Something that they've been waiting to do. Maybe you've been waiting or holding off on a conversation with somebody, or just telling someone how you feel about them with the recognition card. The Six of Wands is all about being chosen or choosing, right? It also is, it says recognition on the card itself, but it also could mean triumph, achievement, awards, celebrity sometimes. It could mean a lot of things. There's a truth coming out about this. You choose one another. 222 on the clock. I got chills when I said that. So there's a truth that you both feel. I think you both feel the same way. You've not used words to express this. You've used other means of communication, but now is the time to exchange. I want to say exchange fluids, but don't take it that way, okay? It's more like I give to you, you give to me, I'll fill your cup up with wine, you fill up my cup. It's like that. It's give and take. It's cooperation. It's communication to its finest, with only the truth. So what else we have? Something is going to come out of nowhere, though. Like you feel like it would never happen in reality. 6 of Cups. Okay, let's pull a few more cards here, and then I'll start clarifying. We have anticipation. Embrace the sweet anticipation of love's arrival in your life. It's coming. So again, I think that there's something regarding a connection that's coming in swiftly. Something that you almost gave up on, right? Something that you're just like, that's never going to happen in real life. It's better in my dreams kind of feeling. I don't know. I would anticipate something good coming along with this. There's some kind of new truth that's going to be exchanged between you two. It's going to be sweet. Who doesn't like sweet? If you don't like sweet, there's something going on. What else? It's going to be the truth, though, which is nice. Water signs, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. This could be one of you. It also could just signify the exchange of fluids again, the exchange of love. Water signs are all about emotion. Emotion moves like water does. It flows, it changes, it's a current, right? It's an energy that constantly flows, and water signs are typically more sensitive, I want to say, or they're more like watery. So whether or not you are Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or the other person is, there's something regarding around. There's definitely a communication that's going to be happening very soon with the swiftness cards. Eight of Wands is all about fast action between you two. You're going to just tell each other how you feel and just kind of just blurt it out and be like, F it. I'm just going to say how I feel. And if it doesn't work, oh well, at least I did it a truthful way, right? At least I know the truth. That is relief in itself, whether or not the outcome is what you wanted it to be. Sometimes you wish and want for a certain connection with someone, but life holds you back from that person for a reason that you might not know of. Sometimes life protects you. You know how some people say that stupid saying, rejection is protection. It doesn't have to be full out rejection. Even if it is, it's better off. You have to believe in that, because sometimes life has a better option, even better option than what you thought. Okay. So maybe you're thinking something negative with this person and you're just like, I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen. And you give up, but lo and behold, there's going to be some sort of swift action between you two that's going to exchange thoughts and exchange emotions regarding the two of you. I think it's going to be an actual positive emotion. I'm not getting anything negative from this. So let's pull a couple more. A gentle touch, like the softness of a feather brushing your skin. Be sweet and kind to yourself and others. There's again about sweetness, right? Be sweet. Be gentle with one another. Maybe you are a little sarcastic, or you're a little sharp with your words. This isn't the time to flex those muscles. We have two sweet cards here, right? So be sweet, embrace the sweet anticipation. There's a lot of sweetness happening that's going to come your way, and just be ready for it, because sometimes we have our guards up so much that we're a little harsh with one another, and that might push the sweetness away. So even if it's difficult, because when we're in such a state of protection, and we're sarcastic, and we shoot from the hip, and it's fun, and it is funny and fun to do in certain environments, right? Like sometimes when it comes to love and emotion with the water signs especially, as much as we like to fool around and be surface level funny, sometimes we have to be serious and just say what is happening here. And just be serious, basically. But serious doesn't have to mean boring or stagnant. It's just, I'm seriously feeling this way about you. I'm seriously, thinking of this scenario, like whatever it is, like you're being open-minded and open-hearted and just laying it out on the line. So just be sweet about it. Just stay in your sweet energy, soft energy. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be ripping jokes at this time in this conversation, especially because if someone is being vulnerable, right, for the first time, you don't want to ruin that scenario of them never doing that again by being combative, or laughing things off, or not taking them as serious as it is. Being vulnerable is a gesture, right? Of being like, here's my heart beating in my hands. You can do what you want with it. And what you do with it can affect the rest of your relationship. Because if, let's just say the guy goes up to the girl and he is vulnerable with her, and he tells her something that he's never told her before, and it's very vulnerable. It's from the heart. It's emotional. It's risky. Okay. And the female can react in two different ways, but still feel the same way inside, if that makes sense, right? She can love the scenario of him coming to her, and she can act two different ways. She can be jovial and kind of laugh things off, and you could be sweet doing that, but you remember, sweetness has to be the forefront of this exchange. It cannot be like, oh, ha 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 ha, look at you being all vulnerable, and then don't and then you don't like give him the opportunity to keep going, right? Like you kind of shut down the sweet part, right? Because he's just going to be like, all right, well, she didn't react in a sweet romantic way, so I'm not going to try that method again, right? I guess it doesn't work with her, or she doesn't like it, or she feels uncomfortable. And it's okay if you feel uncomfortable. You just have to explain that to him so he knows that if you act a little strange, it's because you're not used to that, right? You have to communicate 11:11 on the clock when I look up. It's about meeting each other where it's not about being perfect and having perfect reactions. It's about explaining yourselves in a very soft, gentle, sweet way. Sweet is the key word of this reading. So let me just get one more card here. So the other side of this scenario is the guy comes to the woman and he becomes vulnerable with her for the first time, and she meets him in such a receptive, sweet way that encourages him to do it again. It opens up the freedom and the safety for him to say things, not feeling like he has to keep his shield up. You know, if he says the wrong thing, you're gonna like shoot some arrows at him or something like that. Like you're safe, you're grounded, you're open, you're receptive, you're sweet about it, you are kind with one another's feelings, even if you don't agree, especially when you don't agree, especially if someone's coming to you with their own truth and they know what could happen if it goes wrong. It's a risk still, right? Even if you might not feel like we can get hurt from emotions, we absolutely can. It's just less physical. At least it starts. Like emotions, definitely, if we suppress our emotions long enough, it will become visibly physical on our bodies. But if someone gets their feelings hurt right away, you might not see the pain involved. They might just keep it very like locked in, and they'll never share anything with you again. You know, so don't ruin new chances at connecting with people. I know, like the first impression is a biatch because it kind of can dictate our dynamics with one another going forward. But just remember that, you know, nothing is set in stone. You can always recover. It just takes a little bit more work and a little bit more communication to recover. So you might as well start out strong, right? And the Bible verse says, God heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Look at that. You can't make it up. And it's beautiful because it's all about meeting each other where you need them to be with one another. You're going to be able to connect with this person in a way that actually heals the both of you. And that is the purpose of relationship, isn't it? Is to be able to be seen and understood by a separate entity, a separate human being, a separate universe. And they accept you and they care about you. And even though you are the only person in the driver's seat of your life, the people that are around you can support you or suppress you. And this person can absolutely support you, and vice versa. You can absolutely support this person. So if this person is dying to connect with you, like we hear about this male loneliness epidemic, and they're searching for remedies of their loneliness in all the wrong places. They also want emotional connection, whether they want to say it out loud or not. But you have to create the environment in order to do that. And you also have to be in a place that offers up the freedom to talk openly, right? You don't, just because you disagree with one another doesn't mean that you can rip each other's heads off, like, like in a sense of fighting and bickering and arguing. It doesn't matter about you two agreeing on everything. You think you're going to find a human being on this earth that agrees with every single thing you think? I don't think so, and it's probably not going to be a good mirror for you in the long run, because people that just enable you to keep doing whatever you're doing, even if it's wrong, even if it's bad for you, are they really good friends then? Are they really mirroring things to you to help you grow? So you just remember to be soft with one another. If you talk with one another, it's going to be with words and not just in your head, like, or in just psychically. There's some sort of anticipation of this happening. There's going to be a meeting of the minds, a pouring of one on another's cups, and a real truthful conversation, which is amazing when that happens between two people, when you both know that you're safe enough to be truthful and honest, completely honest with one another, and not in a way where it's mean or disruptive to someone else's self-esteem. It's about just being like, this is my truth, this is what it is. It's not to hurt your feelings, it's not to this or that, it's just, this is what it is. The other person feels safe knowing that that person is actually saying exactly what they're saying, right? So once you develop a trust with one another, to know that you both can talk the truth, you both can be sweet with one another's truth, even if you completely disagree. Like, someone could come to you and be like, this, that, and the other, and you can be like, that is literally the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. But you can't go to that person and respond to someone in that way. I mean, you could if you're friends long enough, right? And they know that you're not coming from a place of meanness, but really the best course of action is to be sweet. Key word here in this reading is sweet, sweet communication, honest communication that's open and soft and kind. But you get to embrace the truth with one another in a place where it's just like, all right, these are my problems, this is what I want to, this is what I'm dealing with, this is who I am, and vice versa. And if we both can accept that and almost like kind of work together in a place where we can work as a team and kind of start batting off both of our problems together. Like, we're side by side, we're shoulder to shoulder looking out into the world together, and we're battling both of our problems together now. So two people are better than one, and we're here to lift each other up at the end of the story here. So I think this connection, whatever is you are anticipating, or maybe not even anticipating, I think you should start anticipating some sort of communication that's going to really open up things with you. And just remember, how you react and respond to someone is going to dictate everything else in the future.